G'day there. Hobbyking's had their mega sale on, cyber sale, and I came across something I couldn't resist. Spitfire Funfighter. Didn't really want to do a whole unboxing thing, but I thought I might do a bit of the assembly, which I kind of couldn't resist. I have pulled it out and had a look at dry fit a few things, and just tell you what I think. For 30 bucks so far, I reckon it's a bargain. Alright, so we've got them laid out, and first couple of things I noticed is I'm glad I paid 30 bucks. There was a couple of issues. The normal price is $100 Australian. Obviously you pay some delivery on top of that. Generally speaking, it looks pretty nice, but a couple of things that I had here was the prop that was fitted had the tip of the prop snapped off. Sure, it's not a big deal, probably extra buck for a prop. Comes with two spare props, and I fit one on there and balanced that up. The other thing I noticed was the motor was rubbing on the cowl. I've moved that around a little bit now, and that's running pretty smooth now. I'll run it up on the watt meter a bit later, show you what sort of power it's putting out. I've only got a 3-cell at the moment, and they say that these things on 4-cell 100 miles an hour. Let's see how it goes on 3-cell first. I don't think my skills are quite up to that level yet. The other thing that I thought was a bit funny, and I had noticed someone in another video had said how flat the top is. That thing is quite a bit like a banana. Nice looking scale pilot, but not real straight. I think when that slides in and clicks down, I think it'll be fine, but yeah. Let's see how it goes together anyway. One of the nice things that this does come with is a very comprehensive manual. Gives you all of the right parts and pieces. There's a few extra steps here that are already done. It mentions the control horns and clevises. That's already fitted in the factory, already on the wing. Attaching the wing, tail sections, lots of good pictures. Attaching the spinner, prop, and then all the surface measurements, elevator, aileron, deflections, the center of gravity at 38mm, which I've read on pretty much every website, saying actually you want to bring that forward a little bit from there, otherwise it is tail heavy. And the motor. So let's get a start on that. Alright, so I've got the fuselage laying flat on the bench. That way when I put the wing on, I can make sure that the wingtips are the same height above the bench to give me as level as possible. That's the theory anyway. I'll just do a dry fit, practice dry fit first. Let's just see where that, if we sit that on there, just as it falls, that's pretty close. Alright, and we'll let that sit and make sure that's dry. Alright, that's dry. And I'm thinking I might just lay a little bit of glue down the inside. Maybe on the outside. I guess the question is, can you ever have your wings on tight enough? If this thing's supposed to go as fast as it's supposed to, then alright, so the next section is the tail, the elevator. It's just a foam hinge. That's a pretty decent, thick piece of foam. And we've got to attach the horn and the rod down the center. So in the instruction they just have a bunch of glue and they just have it sitting on the lip. I'd like to have it pushed into the foam a bit more, just to give it a good bite into there. So there's some decent amount of hot glue. Alright, so we have the control rod on and I've adjusted this now on the dry fit before it all gets glued down, and measured that up against where the stickers line up, and that the top is going to drive into it to have the elevator flat at that point. I've got the servo centered up to make sure that when we put this down we don't need to make any adjustments, because once that's in, I can't see how you're really going to get at it. It's tucked right up under there. I'm going to keep the top on standby for when I glue that in, just to make sure it glues in right in the right spot so that it all lines up. Okay, so I'm squeezing the tail up against the sides of the elevator as well. Making sure that is pushed back into the right spot. Alright, so we've got the horizontal stabilizer in. I'm going to just dry fit the vertical stabilizer just to make sure that it's fitting in the bottom here and sitting in the top as well. And we'll just get a bit of glue in here. And a bit of glue under here. And that looks pretty square. Let's let that sit for a minute. Alright, so we've got the tail on, and in an effort to move a little bit more weight to the front, I've got the receiver pushed in underneath the foam. The ESC, everything is connected in, and I've got the ESC's got an XT60 connector, and I've got the 1000 milliamp batteries are a JST, so I've got that. I haven't converted them over yet, and then we'll stuff the battery right up here in the front. See how that balances out. So we've got the battery right in up front, and the connections, I won't connect that in just yet, and just make sure that that cover fits on there. Slides all the way forward, then down at the back, and then back into the tail. So that's not going to come off. It's bulging a little, but it's in there good and tight. Now the book says that it's a 38mm CG. So if we have a look there, depending on which part of the wing, and they've got that right here on this line, 38mm is just in front of where the spar is here, and this is where the spar is. So let's see how that balances up. It feels a bit tail heavy. That's dropping back. So what I've put together is just a bag of bolts. I drop that in under where the battery sits. Try that upside down. And I tell you, that still feels tail heavy. So I've made up another half bag to go in the front. Then we're going to add the battery in. And I tell you, that's getting a bit closer. It still feels a fair way back. Okay, so I'm not getting the balance. I don't want to put more weight in. What I need to do is move it further forward. And so with the battery flat, which will fit with the canopy on, it's sitting back. But if I turn it around, I can actually get it further forward. But it's coming up against this section here, and I want to avoid cutting it out, but I think what I might do is trim that section out a little so that will sit down flat, and that will bring more of the weight that's already in there forward and hopefully balance the CG. Let's see what that looks like. So what I have been able to do is just cut one slice here and then on the up against the edge, and just push that forward, the foam. So if I do need to bring it back, it's still in there, and that will allow the battery just to sit in nice and snug. I still have my weight up this side, and now with all that tucked in, it actually has the top sits on a little bit better. And I think that's sitting pretty flat now. Could still... Weather's good on Saturday, so we'll see then. One of the things I did say early on was that I would run the watt meter on it. This is a 3-cell 1000 milliamp battery. You can see the voltage there. 0. Flick the throttle kill off. This is the stock prop. 50% throttle. 75% throttle. 100% throttle. There you go. Alright, here we go. Spitty Funfighter, the maiden flight. Mark's just told me all the good news about how the spars snap in half, so.
And there's down elevator.
Oh. Where is that going?
You mode 1 or 2?
2. Oh, where is that going?
While it's up there, can you push, which one's your elevator? On the right side, isn't it?
Yeah, we just...
You're right above now.
Yeah, that's alright, gliding. Which way is it going?
Coming back towards us now.
That's right, going away now.
Yeah, careful, we're in a spin. Now it's right near us. Get it right there as nice as possible. Doesn't matter if it's away a bit, there's softer grass over there, so. Now it's turning left, now it's going way out into the reeds, come back a bit. Get it up.
Oh,
Maggie.
wow.
That was hard.
White tailhead, friggin' extra
And I think you need a down elevator.
down elevator.
Yep.
It's going straight up.